couldn't find a place earlier yesterday to practice, so sorry. Anyways, my name is Samara. I'm from Lebanon, and I'm going to be talking about the effectiveness of some of the rescues we did.
So Samara, can you hear us back? No. Okay, you have to talk closer to the mic, please.
Is this okay? Yeah, good? Better? No? Thumbs up. Okay, I got a thumbs up.
Okay.
Yeah. Just first things first, just in case no one knows, I just wanted to show everyone where Lebanon is. It's at the far east of the Mediterranean Sea, and we're only 10,000 kilometers square, so very, very, very small country. The NGO I volunteer for, they're called Lebanese Wildlife. They rescue local species, rehabilitate them, and release them. I'm going to show you some of the species that we've come into our care, why they came into our care, and what we're doing about it. First of all, the numbers that I'm going to be showing you today are from September 2018 to December 2021. I didn't have time to include 2022 data to the conference, so sorry about that. But basically, we have 618 species that came into our care. It may sound a little small, but our team is only out of 5 individuals, and only 2 of them are actually rehabilitators and equipped in being a rehabilitator, and they do it in their own homes. So some of the species that are going to be coming up, you're going to imagine, like, how did you put that in your home and treated it, and so on and so forth. And unfortunately, we've only had 55% success rate in release. The others, either we had to euthanize because of their injuries, or they passed away during transport or within the critical first 24 hours in our care due to the injuries they received, which I'll be going through in a bit. But before I go into really, the reasons, the actual human-wildlife conflict part and everything, I'm going to go very quickly with some of the species. As you can see here, just as a total that come into our care. Now for mammals, I just wanted to shed light on the foxes. Foxes only came into our care because farmers killed the mother, found 2 pups, and regretted it. Like, oh, I didn't know it was the mother, because the mother I wouldn't have done that to begin with, but I ate my chicken. You go down to his land while he's rescuing the pups, to treat them and everything. He doesn't have welfare management done for the chickens to begin with. There's no coop, there's nothing, they're just free range. So it's kind of like, well, we need to work on that, and then it's like we don't have the funds to actually put the fencing up and all of this. So anyways, we'll get to that, the whole recommendations and limitations. For the birds, it's a bit shocking, especially for the owls. 90% of them are from the illegal wildlife trade. They come into care because of that. They find them very cute, or they realize they can sell them abroad to filming studios and so on and so forth. They habituate them to people. We have 7 extant species still exist as owls in Lebanon. The 8th one was locally extinct in the 80s. But we get all 7 into our care, which barn owls is the most, 54 species out of the 97, which I know in the UK everyone loves barn owls. Anyways, moving forward, the Greek tortoise as well from the illegal wildlife pet trade. People don't know it's an actual wild animal. They think it's a domestic animal like dogs and cats, so they keep them in their care. But that's not the reason we only get them into our care as well. We've had 2 very large confiscations. There was one guy had 100 and something in a garden double this table. There were only 25 that were alive in the bunch that we could take, make sure nutritionally they were still okay and stuff, and release. The other big portion came from the capital when we had a huge blast in 2022. So majority of that came for that because people were keeping them either as pets, and now they're under the rubble, or they were just in small pieces of greenery around the city. Now, amphibians, funny enough, we have the Near Eastern fire salamander, and we've only gotten them twice into our care, total of 26. Once there were 3, and the others was 23. Someone was selling it as a pet, kissing it, and all of that. I don't know if all of you know, but this is a poisonous species, so you shouldn't be really having any physical contact with it, and they are protected. Oh, by the way, sorry. One thing in Lebanon, we have the laws. They're actually very strong laws in protecting our species, but they're just not implemented. Nor do some of the policemen know that these laws exist. Even they're written in Arabic. We'll come to that, why that's a thing later. But now that I showed you some species, the two main causes that they come into our care, which is why I'm here today, is because of illegal hunting and illegal wildlife pet trade. Now, the limitations that we have in Lebanon, not just us as an NGO and initiative that began with, is that wildlife veterinarians don't exist. There is one man who was a veterinarian, went to France, became a wildlife vet, and came to Lebanon. Everyone else in the country, they're either livestock or dogs and cats. The education doesn't exist to be a wildlife vet, but there is an interest. Many Lebanese have left the country, became wildlife veterinarians, and stayed abroad in most of the charismatic countries like most of you work in, because they actually don't know wildlife exists in Lebanon. We do have that limitation as well of education. It's like, oh, these are wild animals? It's like, yes. In some contexts, we have striped hyenas, and so a national animal. So some recommendations I have, and later on in the Q&A to get from your opinions as well. As the last thing is, though I put education with the stars, we are working on the education in the sense of these are wild animals, you know, they're not pets for the ones that are using it as pets, or for the people that don't believe these animals even exist. They're coming from, you know, Syria or other countries around where people are just importing them to the country. It's like, no, they live here. These are native species that we have to protect. Also, we need more international collaborations. This is one thing that we need, because we need people that are experienced in this to come, not just raise awareness more, but bring the education into the universities. For example, we have one university, it's a public university that teaches veterinary, but we have hundreds of private institutions and other public ones where we can then, you know, bring experts into the country and, you know, bring this out. Also, there's the International Wildlife Rehabilitation Council that the two colleagues of mine, one is certified, one is starting to get certified for it. We want to bring this more and shed light more on it in the country and around the region as well, that you can take this as a form of learning and certification. And last thing, before I end this, is accessible to medication. Some meds don't exist in the country. For example, the T61 that's used for euthanasia, our vet has to travel to France, buy it, and bring it with him in his hand luggage. He can't even send it in the large luggage. He has to have a specific amount in his hand luggage. So I know I showed you 618 that we've taken in, but it's triple that we reject of even taking in, because we're two individuals. Also, the majority of the cases are so horrific, they need to be put down. There's no way to save them. But we don't have access to enough T61 to assist these animals, you know, suffering. So if anyone, maybe now or later, knows companies that deal with veterinary medicine, that we can have a, you know, proper connection with them to bring these meds to Lebanon. Anyway, sorry. Thank you.